Hello, this is Leela from Miss Leela Pink Journey. Thank you so much for stopping by, watching my video as I share with you a quick take on how I use the Babylock Versatile Magnetic Frames. I have the 4x4 and the 5x7, and I'll just share with you how sturdy they are and how easy they are to use for projects. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. So the first thing I'm going to do is I will attach my frame, which is really easy. When you're attaching these frames, it comes with this F frame for these machines. You remove the regular frame, the A frame that you normally will have on for the other hoops, and then you take this frame with the F frame on there and you ease it under the machine. Usually you put the frames right in the middle, but this one you just ease it under the machine like that. And then you have to find your little opening and slide it right in and make sure that it's into the two little holes in the back. When you're adding the magnetic hoops to your machine, you're starting off by removing the regular A hoop frame that comes on the machine, the A frame, and you're going to add this F frame. And these, they're not always standard with the magnetic hoops, so I believe you have to ask for them, but you can't attach the magnetic hoop without this F frame gadget. And with the F frame, once you have this on, your magnetic hoop will slide right under and into this section here. And then the two holes will coordinate with this and the one on the other side. It's really easy. It's just like putting on a regular hoop. It's just that you have to have the F frame in order for it to work, the F frame. I cut my stabilizer, of course, to match whatever size frame I'm using to make sure it's coverage all around the frame, the actual hoop. I have already put my actual USB into my machine because I use, let me see if I can turn it around. I use just a cord that I order from Amazon so that I'm not always pulling my USB in and out of my machine from the top up here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is add these the magnets onto the actual frame, and I've labeled mine just because I wanted to make sure I put them in the right spot without taking all day to get them on there. So this is the upper right and this is the bottom right. So I like to hold this down, and I'm making sure that my actual stabilizer is in there real good all around. So I hold down the front of mine, pop it down just like that. These suckers, they hold on to everything. Here's the bottom left. Let's hold it down and pop it on there like that. And then we have the upper left. Pop it in. It's holding on to my scissors. It's a magnet. And then we'll put the next one up. Okay. Now one thing I see is thread hanging. In this portion of the video, I am just sharing how easy it was for me to just drop the stabilizer right into the magnetic frame without any fuss. I didn't have to fidget with it or anything, and it's holding very steady without any problems during this stitch out. Very easy for the machine to do this placement stitch on the stabilizer without any issues. Here I'm laying a sheet of batting down for my next step. When I'm ready to remove the frame, I'll press the button here, the frame button I'll call it. Next I'll press the remove frame button, that one. And that just kind of centers the frame to a point where I can reach my arm in and remove the frame easily. To replace, I'll slide it right to the side, slide it right on in, and make sure it clicks into those two notches right in the back. First piece of fabric going right on top. Let the machine know I put the frame back on, and I'm going to hit lock and start so you can do the next step. The next step here is where you're going to lay your fabric down for the fabric stitch, to stitch the fabric down that's going on top of the actual the inside fabric like I used here. That's going to be this one. The colorful fabric is the one for the outside here. So now we're doing the inside fabric, and that's this one. So you want to make sure that the fabric, of course, is large enough to when you stitch around, it's going to actually cover the stitches. I'm going to hit the lock button and start stop, and then it should tack down my fabric. I've cut all around the stitches in order to remove the excess fabric. It's a much quicker process. So I'm going to hit lock and start, and then it should do those zigzaggy stitches and the pretty stitches and things like that. I am really enjoying the Babylock Array machine. I found out this week that sewingmachineplus.com is having a big sale on this machine, and now they can ship them to you. You can order it online from them, and they have an amazing price with a great promotional sale going on. I'm going to leave a link below in the description box to Sewing Machine Plus and a few other of my favorite merchants. The back piece asks for a 6 by 8 inch piece of fabric, but what I did is I grabbed 2 pieces of 6 by 8 inch fabrics and I folded them in half. They're a little larger than 6 by 8. I folded them in half in order to double the back, and you'll see how I did it. Keep watching. Just keep the chopstick to your back so that I can make sure that it covers. Well, putting tape down, because you can easily put tape down as well. It's not totally necessary with these versatile magnetic frames, which is another perk of them. When I share my full video, you will see why it would have been better for me to cut more of the fabric closer to where I'm stitching, because the fabric did get in the way a little bit, but I worked it out. So far, I'm pretty satisfied with using the Babylock Versatile Magnetic Frames, mainly because even with this back pieces that I laid down right on top of the fabrics that had already been stitched, I didn't have to use any painter's tape or scotch tape or double tape. I was just able to lay those fabric pieces down side by side, kind of on top of each other, and the stitches did not get caught on anything. So that is another perk of the magnetic frames. This is the 5 by 7 magnetic frame. The maximum speed per minute for the Babylock array is 1,000 stitches per minute, or you can lower them down if you like, the stitches per minute. When you see the machine going this fast, it's because I've sped up the video. Not that the machine is going that fast. This is not the regular speed, just wanted you to know. I'm sharing with you how the stitches are absolutely beautiful on this mug rug, and the IQ monitoring app you can have on your mobile device, showing exactly where the stitches are. It will also show you when it's finished embroidering, or if there's a thread break, or if it's time to change the thread. It's really a nice app. You don't have to be near the machine in order to use it. It's a great app, actually. Sharing with you here where you actually can leave the fabric hooped and cut around the edges without removing anything out of the actual hoop. Sometimes it's easier to cut with the fabric still in place, and sometimes it's easier to take it out towards the end. But this is the last step. Just wanted to show you. A quick look at the back. This is going to be inside of the project. I'm going to turn it inside out now. Here I am just turning my project inside out using those 2 flaps that I laid on the back with fabric to make it an opening there. And I'll use the chopsticks to actually get the edges more smooth and poked out more than my fingers can do. Then I'll take it over to the iron to iron out the wrinkles and to kind of set the stitches with a little steam. I'll share a really full tutorial on how I completed the actual mug rug, kind of step by step to how I laid everything down in the machine. This was more to show how I use a magnetic frame and how much I like them. sharing a bit more on how much I like the Babylock Versatile Magnetic Frames. They're very sturdy. I have the 4x4 and the 5x7. All I have to do is remove the magnets one by one. I can place whatever I want to place in order to get ready to stitch. I purposely did not place this in correctly because I want to show you how I can just remove a couple of hoops and pull my fabric out a little bit more, not stretch it, but just pull it out a little bit more to straighten it and make sure that the fabric is more taut in the hoop. Works out really easy and very well. Nothing is going to fall out of these magnetic hoops once you place the magnets down. They ask that you keep bubble wrap or something in between the hoops so that the magnets aren't touching when not in use. And that's how I store mine. See, it's in there great. Sometimes I don't even use a stabilizer. I do with towels, but maybe sometimes with a tote bag or like a heavy jacket or so, I have not had to use a stabilizer. I've used these for beanies and for several other items that I have hooped and have stitched. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching my video. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. I will share more content in the very near future. Thank you.